All right, welcome back to Kedwa Sasa TV. Leo tunazungumzia about Kedwa. Bwana Timothy,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, sir.
How was your day?
My day was good, although too much busy, just alive now.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the reason as to why we are doing this live stream,
yes.
I'm sure you've been briefed.
Yeah, I was briefed on Mr. Abubakar. It's about the Kedwa.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I just want to ask you straightforward questions. For someone who
okay.
doesn't know Kedwa, what is Kedwa?
Kedwa is the Kenya Diaspora Welfare Association. It was
Okay.
started in the mid of September last year, 2019. It was started
Okay.
to unite Kenyans because for so long we have been scattered here and there. We have been suffering, no one to hold our hands. So we decided last year there was some one of our brother went to be the Lord, and so we gathered in Satwa, and we found it
Okay.
is wise. We found it is wise to have an association
To have an association.
which can
Okay.
be unifying Kenyans together in time of distress. Yeah, even you can't find it in other countries. Only for us Kenyans who are going through this.
Okay.
So we decided it's better to have an organization, and that's why we came up with this. Kedwa was born from there.
So, for someone maybe Nyajui, why you formed Kedwa, okay, where do you get the funding? Because I presume this Kedwa is it's an NGO, right?
Yeah, Kedwa is a NGO, is non-profit organization because it's just a part of charity. So
Okay.
we get funding not in monetary forms, but like the time of Corona, we are getting some donors who are helping us with food donations because we
Okay.
cannot receive money at this time because we are still not registered. We are
Okay.
still under the process. So we were advising our donors just to buy the foodstuffs, then we can go and correct because we don't want to deal with money direct because it is illegal even in UAE when you are not
Yes.
registered. Yeah,
According to what nimeambiwa ama what I've been hearing,
yes,
kuna and I'm not here to we are not here to talk about individuals. The reason why nimeitisha hii is to talk about why we are having a split kwa Kedwa.
yeah. Regarding this spread, it started just since the Kedwa was born. So there was a group, Telegram group, which was formed. And it is just a for you that the leaders came up. It was posted in Facebook. Those who are willing to start the group, we can meet. And we met in the financial center. And we started this
Mm-hmm.
group. And then we started with a WhatsApp group. Then later we found it is wise to use a Telegram because when a new join, it can be updated of what was going through. It's not just like the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So we were just like 12 founders, allowed 12 founders of the Kedwa. But currently, the founders, I can say we are almost less than five.
Mm-hmm.
So in the early stages, some of the members they left the group due to some misunderstanding, and mostly because I've been talking with them, they said is about the higher management of Kedwa. There is kind of dishonesty and
Okay.
there is no transparency. Because when you disagree
Uh,
with the higher management,
okay.
you are kicked out of the group. If you try to raise a point just to question or to challenge the chairman, you are being kicked out of the group. So it seems the higher management want to work with the people who they can manipulate to do what they want. And as you know, we are different. Like on my side, I'm principled. You cannot manipulate. I like honesty. Integrity is very important on my side. So if I find you are going the long way, I have to question you. I have to challenge you. So there has been a lot of misunderstandings, and so many members have left the founders of Kedwa.
Okay. I have another question. Why do you think you feel much pressure from the higher management?
Yeah, because we have a
And I think
constitution.
if I'm not wrong, you are part of the management, right?
Yes, I was part of the EXCOM, but the thing which made me to be part of the EXCOM executive committee is because I was questioning a lot. So they decided it's better they gave me a position of super governor. Uh, to super governor is the entire UAE. I'm the head of the entire other Emirates, 7 Emirates. So I was
Yes.
given that position. Then I was added to the EXCOM group.
Okay.
Then from there, the basis of adding me to that EXCOM was that just to silence me
Okay.
because I was when I was in the general committee, I was questioning a lot. So
Okay.
they decided it's better they put me in the EXCOM so that I'll keep quiet. But still, when I joined the EXCOM, my stand never changes. If I see something wrong, I have to question. So I questioned a lot, and that's why there was misunderstanding. I was told I'm disrespecting the chairman because I'm questioning him and I'm challenging him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, what's the difference? Okay? Do we have Kedwa as an NGO or is Kedwa a circle?
No, Kedwa currently is the NGO. We have another circle which is
Okay.
not it's not part of the Kedwa, but those who are leading the circle are still the part of them are still the managers of the Kedwa.
Let's be honest. Hiyo
Yeah.
Kedwa. Okay, let's say for example, mtu akifa leo,
Yes.
should we assume Kedwa will take care of this person?
No, we should not assume Kedwa will take care because we are still under registration. So when Kedwa is officially registered, that will be part and parcel of your responsibility to take care of that person.
We
Till
have had Bwana Timothy,
yes,
since you worked or you're working for Kedwa higher management, you've had
yes.
cases of misappropriate of funds. Wewe kama someone who is sitting at the higher table, why do you think such is happening?
Let's go ahead.
I'm saying hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
All right, Mr. Bakar, welcome. Agnes, karibuni.
Thank you very much.
Mnanisikia? Yes, tulikuwa tunaongea na Alright, tulikuwa tunaongea na Bwana Timothy, so probably akimaliza kuongea we are going to give you a chance, we are going to also give you a chance muongee. Bwana Timothy, I asked you about the loss of cash at Kedwa. Since you worked for the higher management, do you think you're also part of the scheme?
No. For me, that was just one point which made me to be nicknamed I'm disrespecter of the higher management. That is Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Because for me, if I see things are not going the right direction, I will not. I can't support you. For me, I never prepared on my side. So Elizabeth contributions in Sharjah. So it reached a time I was pressured to hand over the contribution. And the one who is pressuring me.
Yeah, I'm listening, Bwana Timothy.
Yeah, when he found there was no multitude, he never appeared there again. Because most of the Kedwa higher management, they just, we are not here for showbiz. We are here to start with Kenyans and to help Kenyans. So,
Winnie, kama unaweza zima radio, Winnie. Winnie, I'm getting.
There's a problem with the sound.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
So,
Miss Agnes.
Yes, please.
Miss Agnes, what are your contributions? Why do you think you came to speak? Is it on behalf of Kedwa?
Actually, let me first introduce myself as a former founder of Kedwa. We are the first people who started Kedwa in the beginning, and all these people can bear me witness from the day one. And it reached to a point that I felt things they are not okay, and I left. I was not removed by anyone. I left with a good reason that we had so many disagreements and so many up and down fights, which I didn't like, and we are fighting for nothing. We are fighting for things that can be solved, but because people have pride, cannot reason. So we are the first group which left Kedwa. When you see Kedwa started Scadus, and then I can see there is another group that have followed. So this is kind of interesting, and I hope all Kenyans, they are opening eyes and they can see, because we were waiting for this.
Miss Agnes, if I may ask you,
Mhm.
at what point did you leave Kedwa?
Okay, let me say that I left Kedwa because there is this schedule that was happening about the circle. Members, they were asking also
Okay.
for position and they were not given. And we questioned, I remember even we had a meeting and we questioned Mr. Crispin, where instead of tackling the things the way they are supposed to be tackled, he dictated people and even he have guts to bang the table for the officials, which I didn't like it because whatever the organization is there to serve Kenyans, and if the members have a question, you need to tackle that question. You don't need to remove the member from the group. I see you being insulted, perhaps. I see you being, but you never block someone or remove someone. You have, as a leader, you have to tolerate that. You have to know how to tackle questions and accommodate members, because I think you are serving Kenyans in whole. You're studying for Kenyans. So if you remove a Kenyan, where do you expect as an organization when this Kenyan need you? Where will you get this person? How will you know if this person have a problem?
All right, Miss Agnes. Miss Sweeney, can you unmute your mic? Miss Sweeney, come on and try to unmute your mic. Miss Sweeney, what's your position at Kedwa?
My position at Kedwa was assistant manager.
You are the assistant manager.
Yeah.
So how much have you collected since Kedwa was formed?
How much in terms of what?
We don't know, because according to you people collect money and do the what you have to do according to how you formed the NGO. So I believe, because I even checked on your website, you collect contributions, right?
Hello.
Miss Winnie,
Yes, I didn't get your question, please. Pardon.
if you check on your website, I can see you people collect some money,
Yeah.
some donations. So since you started collecting this money and the donations, how much do you have as Kedwa to help Kenyans? Or where do you get your funding?
Actually, since the group started, we've had some challenges whereby some of us were sidelined. We are not directly involved when they are decision making, and maybe in case of a donor, we don't even know. We just get the donor. We are being told this and this was being brought by this and this, by this person and this person. So to some extent, I think I'm one of those people who are being sidelined very long time ago because of my stand, and I'm always straight to the point. In case of a problem, I'll always point out this is wrong, this is right. There are some things as a welfare we're supposed to do as a welfare, not as a company. But I don't know if it's leadership skills that we lack. We confuse between welfare and companies. So from the start, some of us have been not supporting some issues simply because we feel they are not right to be done in a welfare. But due to some dictatorship and some members are directly involved to the upper management, we could not make it because we were a little bit less in terms of number.
All right, thank you, Miss Winnie. Bwana Bakar, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks a lot for giving us a platform to express our views. When the welfare started,
Okay.
we kind of realized there's some people among the group who have personal interest. And when we started, we had a very clear mind that we are opening a group to help Kenyans. The moment there were some differences, we realized there's some other agenda people had, in that if you oppose their agenda, they kind of create another group whereby you are left in a group, but there's no communication with you. People meet, they discuss, they pass a motion, and you're left out. I act as the patron, whereby in their constitution, which came much later, it stipulates that I am supposed to advise the chair or the board. Nobody consults me for any advice. When I speak out, they look at me as a fighter. They look at me as someone who is there to spoil. So it has been very difficult to work with people who don't want to listen to you. And I noticed when people oppose to the chairman's agenda, you're kicked out. So it's been going on ever since we started. And my advice was like, kindly don't interrupt, just let me do my job, which was kind of dictatorial, given that everybody has a stake. And we chose Crispin, not because he's taller or shorter, but he's a Kenyan. And we gave him the mandate to run the thing. But later on, we realized the mistakes we had done. One mistake that we did was to give him the go-ahead to have the sponsors sponsoring his personal company or where he's working to sponsor the Kedwa. And in the forms also, we registered Kedwa as the head office where he works. So I think these two mistakes that we did kind of engulfed his mind, thinking that he owns Kedwa and nobody should stop him or nobody should tell him what to do. He's been a very good guy. He understands, he listens, but ever since he became the chairman, I think he lost it, whereby he doesn't listen to anybody. You go to his office, you don't know whether he's doing Kedwa job or security job. And the way he approaches his juniors is the way he approaches any other person in the committee. And when you oppose him or you bring something that is tangible, he keeps you aside, which today or yesterday, he started removing the guys who met to discuss the way forward. Yep.
Okay. Bwana Timothy, I have a question for you from Miss Lynette. Sijui kama unaona hiyo swali.
Yeah, naiona.
So why do you think wakati ulikuwa in position, why were you not listening to the people? Is it because you are having access to the funds and now that ulinyimwa hiyo chance sasa ikakuwa wache group?
No, such a pardon. But first of all is to apologize to my sister Lynette because that time I didn't know Crispin. I knew Crispin on the other background of a church. One is a saint.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know Chris on the other world. So when we started the Kedwa, that's when I started knowing this person. So when the net joined, I had not still known Kedwa, Crispin properly. So when the net we used to challenge the chairman, I could see like he is in the long side, but he has seen those characters ahead of me. Maybe he knew Crispin before before me, I don't know, but later I came to know Crispin better.
Okay, may I add a
All
point
right,
on
Miss
that?
Agnes.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Mr.
ahead.
Timo, yes, we
Yes.
joined Kedwa together and we started at the same time. And it's so disappointing that you people, you took so long to study this, because I remember we tried to open your eyes to tell you what we can see, but you never reasoned to us. You used to call us names and tell us we are just akina waitangura, yani, those people who bring politics without any benefit. But you know how much we have invested in Kedwa, including time, including everything. But this is too late. You're seeing this because we could have solved this. We could have seen, we could have talked to people, we could have talked to them, and we solved, rather than having, now we have three division, three. First group being me, Renette, and the others. Second group is you. The fourth group, we don't know who will follow. And how long are you going to take Kenyans into right?
There was at the beginning there was the original Kedwa.
Yes.
I got some complaints that you guys went to Satwa. I don't know. You had some contribution, and then you stole an idea from some young guy. Then you ran away with the idea. You started Kedwa. So there was a fight between the original Kedwa and your Kedwa. And
Okay.
during that time, there some money got lost. I think Timothy was there. Agnes, you were there as a leader. What happened? Or how do you distribute the cash you get for this matanga?
Okay, I'll tell you everything, and to be honest, because I was in that matanga that day, and I just went like any other Kenyan, and then it was brought a point by Abu and Crispin and Bonnie. Bonnie was the guy who was there, and they started like, oh, we can start a Kenyan welfare. I think this is good, of which I supported the idea, and I felt Kenyans need this. Like, I was so touched by how we lost that guy, and he was under visit visa. That's what carried my interest in this group, and that's how Kedwa started. Forget about, oh, my brother died, all this. That's how I started Kedwa. No, Kedwa was brought up by these people you are seeing here. They were there. So we started and we said that we are going to contribute. First, we went to the consulate. After we went to the consulate, we borrowed information. I was the one who was taking the minutes. I remember that. Then we sat down, we started with the constitution. After the constitution, we hold the constitution, we refused to give to the members. And we said that all of us, we are going to contribute money, that we are going to be members, register ourselves as members. I have not even collected my 100 dirham from Kedwa, because I said, if it is there for Kenyans, I am there for Kenyans. If it works, okay. If it doesn't work, okay, they bring back my money. I don't know whether they still have my money, but I'll still ask for my money, Kedwa. Okay, this is how it is
All
started.
right,
But I can tell you.
Go ahead.
I can tell you where we corrected money, and they corrected money and they refused, unless this Matanga thing, which I hear it have so many scandals of the money and all this, they gain this interest. And that's why my question is, what is this interest bringing you to Matanga and fighting in Matanga, Kedwa people?
So I don't know who is the right person to answer that question. So
I can
I'll
do
leave
that.
the question to be answered by Winnie.
Okay, the question of Matanga money
Winnie,
or
go ahead.
how we started?
Matanga.
Matanga.
What I know from the Matanga, we could, during the Matanga, we attended like 3-4 days. And during those days that we were attending, Kenyans could tell us, we need to have something which will bring us together. They were insisting on our welfare. And they were insisting this to Mr. Abu Bakr. So Abu Bakr is heading I don't know, the SACCO group. So he called Bwana Chris and told him that people at Satwa want to come together and join to make a welfare. Chris, some things I don't want to say, but let me say, Chris didn't want to come because of his issues, but Abu told him he's not going to, what can I say, ile kutangaza pesa kwa matanga. Abu akamwambia sitatangaza hiyo pesa kwa matanga, I'll just sema umetoa pesa hii kiasi and that is it. Then after that, Chris was given opportunity to talk to Kenyans who are present about coming together and forming something like a welfare.
I think you have repeated where we started. I'm asking, recently there is so many people who have been, okay, not many, the Kenyans who have died. And we can see, even in your report, the minutes, it's there recorded something like you went for Matanga, there was an issue of somebody chipping in and becoming the one who is organizing all this. What does Kedwa have to do with Matanga contribution? That is my question.
The contribution, where it comes in, after people have come together to contribute, the chairman wants to dictate to be given the cash to hand over to Abdi for welfare.
Do you think the chairman gets some cash, or why he have interest to be given the money?
I think his interest to get the money is getting mileage. That's what he's doing. After the contribution is done, he wants the contribution so as to get the mileage. So I think the committee refused to give him the money. So akakasirika, he had to left all the groups.
Okay, coming to the same thing of
thank you very much, Ms.
Yeah. Sorry. So coming to the same thing of Matanga, there was this
Agnes, go ahead.
There was this Matanga that was in Satwa.
Yeah.
And there was this Kado. That's where Mr. Chairman joined hand with Mr. Daniel.
Yeah.
Because of this contribution. And there was a Skado that was there. Because this is the time you started the interest match with the Matanga thing.
During Satwa contributions, Mr. Dan was fast forward in the drive to persuade Kenyans to give the contributions. All of a sudden, we realized they've come in, they've chipped in with Mr. Mangongo. And previously, we knew as Dan being his enemy. I don't know where the enemy started, but Mangongo was saying Dan is a very bad person, so we should not even associate ourselves with him. But after Dan was associated with the Satwa Matanga, we saw them together. We don't know what happened. We just saw them together. And after some few days, Dan was added back to the General Committee meeting, whereby Mr. Timothy questioned, why is Dan back to the committee without us being involved? Then that's where the wrangle started. Timothy was
thank you very much, Winnie.
termed as sidelining. Timothy was being termed as fighting the chairman simply because of asking, why is Dan being added back? And he was termed as the enemy of the welfare.
Asante sana, Winnie. Bwana Bakar, there's this. We also had some complaints that you, the Kedwa officials, contribute 20 dirhams, and you demand for other members to contribute more. Why do you think such happens? And is there a difference between Kedwa and Kedwa Sacco?
Thank you very much for the question. To be honest, there is no Kedwa Sacco and there is no Kedwa Welfare. We have Kenya UA Diaspora Sacco, which is a separate entity whereby I'm the chairman and Chris is the vice. And we have the welfare, which is under process of registration. So let's not confuse the two. When I went for the first Matanga before Kedwa was registered, I sold the idea to the people who are there. And Chris, as you have heard Winnie say, was invited. And we handled the Matanga thing, and I wasn't handling any money because I don't want to be accountable or be questioned where the money is. I just mobilized people through Facebook, social media, and everything. And I realized when Chris came and he spoke, we were all together as one. Even Boni, who initiated the group, was there. The only problem came when he got a lot of interest and started commanding Boni to remove some people in the group who are not going by the way he wanted. And Boni got pissed off. I have screenshots, I have calls from Boni. He was telling me, why is this guy telling me remove so and so, remove this and that? And I personally spoke with Chris because he's my friend. I told him the idea of trying to muscle people and trying to say who will be in the group, who will not, is dividing Kenyans. We are supposed to be all together because I look at the group as having a potential to help all the Kenyans across the board. But the problem comes when someone wants to create mileage for doing zero. For him being the chairman does not mean he's better than any other person. We are all equal in terms of the commitment we have for Kenyan people. So after the first Matanga, he tried to muscle around and Boni refused. He opened a separate Telegram group with 2-3 people. Then it went on, and Boni felt like, hey, he's being cheated. He called me, what is happening? I said, I think when he wanted you to remove some people and you did not, he opened another group. So I knew there's going to be a problem. And I asked him, why did you create another group instead of involving everybody? Inclusivity is very important when you're doing something for the welfare, if you have no hidden agenda. And I'm surprised that once the group started, the Boni guys were like fighting us now. I was talking across the board with the guys who are left out and the guys who are inside. Because for me, the purpose of bringing Kenyans is vital. But for other people, they want to gain their name to go up. I don't know, for political reason or whatever. I don't know. Now, the second wave came when these other people were bringing up issues. Lynette was asking very tangible questions. When he had a meeting to go to meet the ambassador or to go to the consulate, he would want to know who is coming and who is not coming, which was immaterial because the bigger the number, the better, so that we can air our views and express what Kenyans are going through. We've had a similar meeting with the MPs coming from Kenya, and they were surprised to see the small number of quorum that was there. Irrespective of the office being small, if we had gone more, they would realize that we have a bigger team. But I think the chairman wanted the people he could manipulate, or people who can be told don't speak, and they keep quiet, or they ask you to jump. You don't ask how high, you just jump. Now, Lynette was kicked out, and Agnes was kicked out. They called me. They said, you see how the things are going. I called Chris once again. I said, these people have arranged we meet, we discuss. We see where the differences are to iron out the differences. Chris wasn't interested to meet them. He's like, those who are out will remain with the ones we are working with to continue, to go ahead, which was also wrong. And since that time, when he realized I was speaking to the people who were thrown out, he kind of sidelined me. He thought like I'm supporting the people he's removing from the group. I told him they are all Kenyans. When you remove someone from the group, it doesn't mean that he loses his citizenship, and we cannot work together. Now, the third wave was the guy Dan, who had some differences with the chairman. He was also kicked out. But now I don't know what happened. Like, he wanted so much to come back. And one or two incidences I came with Dan, and they looked at me like, hey, you're bringing someone, a foreigner or someone we are fighting with. And I told him, no, he's a Kenyan and he has accompanied me. He has some things to say. And I tried to bring them together so that we don't have divisions. Each time we have people who are opposing him, they are thrown out. It's unhealthy for the group. And I told Dan, I've spoken with Chris, kindly call him, you meet and discuss. Actually, Dan was among the people who contributed stuff for the pandemic, the food drive that we had. He donated about 50 kg of sugar and I don't know 100 kg of some other stuff. And I told him, beggars are not choosers. Even if you fought with Dan and he wants to give something, let's take it and help the Kenyans, because we are not doing it to achieve anything. We're doing it to help all the Kenyans. So Dan was brought back and they accepted him. Unfortunately, he felt like I was playing a role to like fight him or something like that, which was not the case. I told him, I'm here to help and give advice for you guys. I have nothing to gain from Kedwa or nothing to lose. But for him, he's looking at the material gain or the name or a political mileage that he will get, which is very wrong to use Kenyans and express things that are not even true. Like telling people for the whole 1 year that the certificate is coming. And he doesn't want people to follow up the certificate, to go to the CDA or to speak to anybody about the CDA, which is kind of, it smells fishy when someone doesn't want to open up on the procedure, the processes, and the changes he has made on the application, the people whom he's removed and changed the names of the people he has submitted to the CDA. So he has totally put me aside. I tried to call him, nothing. I tried to send him messages. Sometimes he will read, sometimes he doesn't respond. So I'm sorry to say that we are having a chairman that doesn't listen to any other person. He has only he listens to 1 or 2 or 3 people. That's it. We had a meeting and I asked him, if I'm the patron to advise you, why don't you even call me when you do your things, or when you change or you amend something? He told me in front of the group that he has no obligation to talk to me. He has other friends who can advise him better. So he tried to show me like I'm a lesser being or I don't know what I'm doing. But it's like a blind man walking and there's a ditch in front. You see him going to fall. You try to tell him, hey man, there's a ditch in front. But he doesn't listen to you. So we are just waiting for him to fall down and realize that he was kind of messing himself up. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bakar. Timothy, go ahead.
To add on the money issue, let me be very clear. Let me be very clear that we were not collecting cash or we are not receiving contribution in terms of cash. Probably the Kenyans might take it differently, thinking that maybe there's a lot of money in the welfare, but there isn't much. We were very categorical on those people we approached as donors, and we told them we would get their donation in terms or in form of food items. So people would say, I would donate 2,000 or 3,000. We would tell him, these are the items Kenyans are using. He would go to a market or a warehouse or whatever, arrange for those items worth the donation he was giving.
May I have a question, please?
Go ahead, Agnes.
Okay, I would like to ask you something that happened on May 21st, Mr. Abubakar. There is that group that was opposing what Mr. Chris was doing. We sent you an email, you and Mr. Chris, and the email was sent for you to come, we talk, we rebuild the bridges of what is causing the difference.
Yeah.
What was your initiative in that? How did you participate? Because nobody attended. We spent that minute waiting for you to solve this problem for the Kenyans. Nobody attended. We just received a very rude bag from Crispin Mangongo saying that they can only take decisions pertaining for Kedwa being made by founding members, and it's members who are calling them. So were you forming Kedwa for yourself or for the members? Is it for the officials or is for the members? Members have the right also to be listened.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I actually remember you calling me and telling me that there's an email you sent. You wanted us to meet either through social media or physically. But considering that we had restrictions on the number of people to meet, I suggested to Chris if we could do a Zoom meeting. But he said, if you want to meet them, you meet them at your own terms. But for me, I'm done with them. So he never supported me to a point where I could meet you and say I'm the official Kedwa, because for me it's just a name. I'm told I'm the patron, but whatever happens or whatever meetings they have, they never disclose. So it's unfortunate that I'm just there as a puppet, seeing things happen, but behind the scenes, they make their own decisions. I've never been looked up to any decision they make, or my views and comments are not taken positively in the group. So I'm sorry to say that I was really willing to meet all of you, Lynette, because I take you as my sisters, my brothers, and I have no ill feeling of whatever person who has any different idea or motive that is bringing Kenyans together. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Timothy and Winnie, there was this, my attendance with this need authorization. Did you get any information to add that, and what was your...
Agnes, we can't hear you. Just let's give Timothy a minute to say something. I have a question for him.
Can't hear the
and then I'll get back to you. Mr. Timothy, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I have a question. What criteria do you guys use to distribute food? Do you only distribute to Kedwa officials, or what do you base on to distribute food?
Yeah, for the food distribution, West Kenyans, mostly first priority, those who are on visit visa and those who are jobless. So we request them, we inquire them to apply through website. Then when they apply, we just shortlist those who have confirmed. We have given the full details, your names, full names, your mobile number, and your location. So before we issue the food, we have to confirm first whether your names matches with your ID. And we have to confirm whether you are in visit visa, whether you are working or not. So on that side, that's the protocol we use.
So for someone to get a contribution from Kedwa, they had to apply, or they have to apply, right? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, to get the food donation, you have to apply through the website.
All right. Agnes, you had a question. Please go ahead.
Okay, my question was to Winnie and Timothy, like during that time we sent the email, were you told that there is an email that was sent, and what was your input in that? Like, how did you contribute to that to bring a change, to rebuild?
We were not told of any email.
Okay.
No, as you know, as you always know, you've been in the group, you know how it operates. If someone comes out with the genuine points or a genuine concern, if it's not from the above or from those people who are being close to the chairman, that's null and void. Like the other day, we had a meeting we told the group we have a meeting. Let's come, sit, discuss the challenges of the group and how we'll move on. We did a meeting. We did the minutes. We were very open. Once the minutes were posted to the Kedwa General Committee, those people who were in the meeting, all of us, we were removed from the group by the chairman. And for the past, like 2-3 days ago, we've been persuading for a meeting, for a general committee meeting. We've been asking the chairman, if we cannot be able to unite the 30 people in the group, how is he going to unite all Kenyans? But all has been in vain. The last answer that we got is being removed from the group, and that was it.
Thank you very much, Winnie, for your response. Mr. Bakar.
Yeah.
Where's Mr. Where's all right?
Yeah.
There's someone who's trying to join us. Yes, Mr. Bakar. Don't you think it's going to be perceived as if you people are trying to fight your chairman? Is there a way you officials can sit down and discuss this thing out and then work for the Kenyans?
Actually, yeah, it's going to be perceived as we are fighting him because we don't agree in everything that goes on in the group. We had the previous meeting of the people whom you have had that were kicked out of the group. We expected everybody to come there because it was a recap of the matanga that Timothy was handling. And we wanted to close it up and say, let's catch up. But 2 or 3 days prior to the meeting is when Syokimau was removed from the group. And all along, he enjoyed the favors Chris was showing him. So he had not known the other side of Chris. But when he differed with him, he was also kicked out. Then he kind of opened up and said, I didn't know you guys were right all along. Because we are here to meet, discuss, and help Kenyans. We had that meeting expecting the chairman to come, but he did not come. We are open for discussion. For him to remove people and not communicate with them shows that he is the one who is bringing the issue. He's the one bringing the conflict or bringing up issues, not accommodating other people who kind of don't just agree with him per se. So if he's willing to meet us, we are there to discuss and talk. And we are looking for qualities and good traits for someone leading Kedwa, not someone who is going behind people's back and stabbing other people and kicking people out. So from the word go, he's been trying to divide and rule. He will tell you this and tell the other person this other story. So at the end, you find people are fighting, but the same tactic is what people use for divide and rule, and you get more people on your side, which is a wrong tactic that even was used during the colonial days to fight people. Like when he was fighting Lynette and Agi, when you talk to Agi and Lynette, he feels like you are supporting them. So he will sideline you, and sometimes you'd hear meetings have been called, or they meet on other coffee and social talk, and you are left out. So the next meeting that comes, you find people have gone ahead and agreed on some things which you are not privy to. So those tactics are the ones bringing all these issues. We are very committed. We are mature people who know what leadership is all about. But to find someone who doesn't know anything about leadership and confusing the welfare with the security firm is what is bringing all this problem. Because the way you run a company is different from the welfare.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I have a question, Mr. Abubakar. Sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead, Agnes.
Yeah, and the interim, because we were all interim team. We all know how we started this, and we started
Yes.
this for the sake of Kenyans. Uh, we volunteer to take those seats. If today Kenyan says that we don't want you as leaders, are you ready to give Kenyans a chance to choose their own leaders that they are comfortable with? Like, we have had so many complaints, we have so many complaints. Are you ready to give Kenyans a chance to select their own leaders that they are comfortable with?
Thank you very much for the question. About leadership, I should say we were a steering committee to jumpstart the whole thing, but we were not there to stay there for life. We are ready to face Kenyans. If they have any person they feel can lead, we are open to that. We are not like opening or starting up a welfare to gain any mileage or get to be known. We are willing to get Kenyans to meet, come up with somebody. If they say so and so is going to lead us, we are ready to support it. Because when we
Mr.
started,
Let me cut you short. You remember very well we had a meeting when we got a sponsor who is an Arab from Chris company. And you remember him saying he has to rule for 2 good years. If not, he have to end this organization. So why are you really Kenyans? You remember that if I have said wrong thing, you can correct me. Everybody bear me a witness. The sponsor Crispin gave with a restriction that he have to start there for 2 good years. So tell me, how can he let Kenya to choose another chairman? And Kedwa move on.
Yeah, it's very
I can
true.
talk on that. It's unfortunate that some of us, some committee members, came to see what was happening while it's late, including Timothy and others. There was a point they could not see what's happening. Personally, I questioned, this is a welfare. What is the right way of choosing sponsors? Because I felt that sponsors being attached to somebody that he must be the chairman of the group for the sponsors to be there wasn't healthy to me, to a welfare. So I questioned, since I was the only person and some few we could not be heard. He was supported and he went ahead and did the handing over of the papers. I can say one thing that has happened and has opened other leaders' eyes when Gladys joined the group and the chairman diverted all his attention. All I can say, the welfare at the moment is being ruled by Gladys, not even the chairman.
Do you mean Mama Kedwa?
That's, yeah.
Okay.
After Mama Kedwa came in, Syokimau were left out. That's when they realized, oh, this is the person we are dealing with. Otherwise, they could not realize what was happening because they were being fed with a lot of negativity. I was wondering where the hurry, why was the hurry of registration? I don't know what. We understand Dubai government. It takes time to register welfare. It has to do background checkup. But at that moment, people are saying we are enemy of the people because we were questioning the right things to be done. Some general committee members who were not able to stand strong and speak out went mute, and they didn't come back again to any meeting up to date. You know of Peter Mugambi.
Thank you very much, Ms.
He
Winnie.
was there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Winnie, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since we have a welfare there, since we have Kedwa welfare, why do you think some other individuals? Why do you think there should be contribution if we have a welfare with us? Because for a welfare, we expect for a welfare to cater for everything because we presume that a welfare has some sponsorship and maybe you're getting some contribution from people here and there. What do you think some other Kenyans, or maybe we should have an M-Pesa number or a bill number to do some contributions when when actually there's a circle, welfare.
Welfare. I think the welfare has not taken its time properly to sit down and discuss and lay down on what is in fact, even the so-called welfare has not even realized what is a welfare. Up to date, people are fighting left, right, and center without sitting down and realize what is a welfare. What is a welfare supposed to do? Somebody dies, we are there saying this is the last funeral that we are going to contribute. When we come back to the committee, because of some self-interest, we are not able to sit down and discuss the welfare issues. We are just sitting there and being told tunangoja certificate. I don't know what the certificate is going to do after it's out. We fail to understand. So many times personally I've asked previously I asked Madam Gladys what's going on. Because I don't know what she was fed when she joined the group. She only told me, I don't know. Even me, the chairman, doesn't tell me anything. So we assumed there's a group behind the bars which is controlling and which knows what is going on. But as Kenyans, we should not tell ourselves that we have a welfare. We are just, we don't know.
All right, Mr. Timothy, why do you think we should trust Kedwa?
Yeah, currently Kedwa cannot be trusted unless we all Kenyans come together. They elect their leaders they want to lead the welfare, because there is a lot of hypocrisy in Kedwa right now. Like that incident of Matanga, the last one in Sharjah. After we hit the target of almost 20,000 dirhams, the following day I was being pressurized to hand over the 10,000 for the repatriation process, which I stood firm and I stated, you never came before to motivate Kenya to contribute this money. You are just watching from a distance. I'm not giving this money because even those who have this money, they are currently working. Unless they finish their duty after 4, we can meet and change the money into dirhams so that we can hand over. Then the chairman insisted this money is needed urgently. You have to give now. Then I had the money. I can receive the money in the evening or tomorrow morning. It is not urgent. So I realized there is something fishy going on. Why do you insist I give money and the money is not urgently needed right now? So that's part and parcel of dishonesty, and you cannot trust some of the leaders in Kedwa right now.
Thank you very much. Because of time, you 2 minutes to say a final word, and why do you think there should be unity, or why do you think there should be no welfare? I'll start with you, Agnes.
Okay. For me, what I should say is that I think welfare is a good thing. If Kenyans can sit down and come up with something tangible, something that they can discuss and given the freedom of speech without discriminating them, may it be a housemaid, it doesn't matter which class you are. What matters is that you are serving Kenya. That's what leaders should understand. The minute you join yourself in non-profit organization, you don't expect anything to do with money. You help from the heart, you do the work and you leave the rest to the God. But taking money from Kenyans and just taking them to a ride in the forest, I really don't advise that. And I wish in future we shall have leaders who will understand and feel how Kenyans, they are struggling in this country and how much some they need our help. That is my final word for you.
All right. Miss Sweeney, if you can unmute your mic, please. Unmute your mic and go ahead.
Okay, my last word is to all Kenyans. For sure, we need a welfare. And a welfare for Kenyans should be led by people who have vision, mission of the heart of Kenyans. For this group to succeed, we have to come together as Kenyans and all stakeholders involved in bringing Kenyans together and make a strong welfare going forward. Otherwise, at the moment, we don't know what is happening. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Sweeney. Governor Kamau, is it Kamau or Sio Kamau?
Sio Kamau.
All right. What's your final word?
Yeah, before I say my final word, it's better I answer Lynette's question. He's stating I brought Gladys.
Yeah, she say you brought Gladys to kick out Agi in the education docket.
Yeah, for sure. Even I came to New Gladys when my assistant governor relocated to Qatar. So when she was going to Qatar, Madam Caroline, she told me she has one lady who is so influential. He can come and she can be my assistant governor. I said, it's okay, let her come. So when she came, I called her. Even we never met before. So I told her, you are welcome in Kedwa. You can be my assistant governor as I was instructed by Madam Caroline. And she said it's okay. So I gave Mr. Crispin her number, and Mr. Crispin continued with the process to enroll Madam Gladys. So from there, that's when we met in Satwa for a meeting. I met Madam Gladys first time in Satwa. And that's why she took over control and I can say she took over everything from the day one.
When the chairman sees new members, is determined to replace them with old ones and kick them out. That is normal.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to talk something about this because I remember very well, Mr. Timothy, if I take you back to a minute that you wrote in a meeting after we had some voting, and you announced my office is free when you brought Gladys. And I never resigned from the office. I never resigned and said that I don't want to be in education, but you gave the chance to someone else. And that's why I started knowing that you guys were corrupt and you have other intentions. Because how comes I'm the head of the office and someone else is even being announced, and even you haven't even said any resignation for your office?
Yeah, I can say I'm not the one who proposed that. We were being brainwashed that this can do better in this. Yeah, that I like being honest. That's why.
But as leaders, we need to stand strong. Wherever you are a leader, have your stand. Don't be brainwashed by anybody.
Exactly.
Because we have the interest of Kenyans together.
Yeah, and from
if
that
you are
time,
being brainwashed, you cannot lead.
So Grandi's have to brainwash to get a seat.
yes.
Sorry?
Thank you.
So my 2 minutes, I can say.
All right, Mr. Timothy, your final word, please.
Yeah, I can say we really need welfare in UAE. It's so important for us as Kenyans. But to have this welfare, we need inclusivity of each and everyone. Kewa, kids, each department. We need to come up together. Without doing things, we are going nowhere, and there is no certificate which is coming out soon. So I request all Kenyans to come up together, and we have a way forward. Thanks a lot.
Asante sana bwana Syokimau. Mr. Bakar, your last message to the Kenyans in UAE and welfare, and what do you think can be done to solve the mess around the circle? Do you think do you think you're going to give the chairman a chance to run the circle, or you people are going to have another welfare?
I'm sorry to have confused the two. There is a circle and there's a welfare, as I had spoken before. And
okay,
the welfare is, as per Timothy and the rest of the group who have spoken, Kenyans need welfare because people get different challenges in UAE. And as a person who has been here for the last 17 years, I felt there was need going by how other people handle their problems. You find Indians, they have their own, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, and the rest. And we came up with this Kedwa thing, hoping that it will help Kenyans. I was among the people who was chosen to look for the sponsor, and to get to convince the local to sign as a sponsor took a long time. That's when Chris came up with the idea of talking to the sponsors who are sponsoring his company. And we raised that issue in the meeting, saying that there will be conflict of interest, given that if the sponsor who is sponsoring their company sponsors the welfare, if he loses his job or he relocates or he gets another job, what will happen? Because we are looking at something we start beyond ourselves, not like it will end with us or it can run without us or with us. And we opposed in the meeting, like, we should not take the same sponsors for the Kedwa registration. But he said, considering that there is nobody who has the sponsor, and I have these two, we can go with them. Given that the CDA had given us an option of looking for a sponsor for us, but it's going to take a long time, and we were in a hurry to do registration. I don't know what the hurry was for, but he said we had better start up something and finish. So the condition he gave was what Agnes has just highlighted, like he's going to run for 2 years. The time we are going to renew is when he will relinquish, or we can look for another sponsor. If he was honest enough and he was open enough, that was a good idea because it was chipping in where we could not. But the behavior he started exposing and expressing once we agreed for him to lead is what is a surprise to us. Because you call him, he talks to you like he doesn't respect you. He talks ill of people like the cleaners, the watchmen, people who are on lower cadre job, and calling people kaliwalis and stuff like that. So I tried to nurture him, like, for being a leader, you lead those who are down and those who are up. You treat them. You can know someone's character by the way he handles a cleaner. Or if you go to a restaurant and you see someone talking to the waiter, you would tell the kind of person he is. If he abuses the waiter or tells the waiter, hey, the tea is cold and black, bring about issues that are not there, you'll understand this guy is problematic. So we tried to nurture him, and we hoped that he would listen, but unfortunately, it ran on deaf ears. So I'm really sorry to say I'm not part to it anymore because I'm no longer in the group. He kicked me out. But we shall not just sit aside and see things go wrong. We have other options or other machineries to follow up and see that Kenyans get a leader whom they deserve, a leader who listens to them, not a leader who wants to gain mileage. And when contribution is done, for him to get the money and take it to have photo session with people that he's giving money. And when the real work is there, he doesn't show up. If he's bold enough, he would have come to the meeting, or let everyone express what he feels. Because as a leader, you don't expect everybody to support you. There are people who will support you, there are people who will be against you. But you stand and see the way forward, but not doing backstabbing and kicking out people out and just remaining with the people who are saying yes, yes, yes. He's not going to go very far. And apart from that, the idea of Kedwa having money, I'm sorry to say, we don't have that kind of money. We actually contributed for the amount to do the registration, which is about 2,000 dirham. So we have not yet started getting any monies per se from donors or any other quarters. What we have is a projection and the business plan to run the welfare. But the business plan is enticing people to an extent of them forgetting the purpose of creating the welfare, because it's supposed to help people, not help us as committee. We are there to steer the registration and give the Kenyans a chance to give their leaders. But the moment you have someone leading you and he says he will not sit or stay aside because he has brought in the office and the sponsors, and he doesn't want to listen to people, we have a problem. That's the much I can say.
All right. Thank you very much, all of you. And it was a pleasure having you. And I hope if I get a chance, I'm going to look for Mr. Chris so we can have him also here on this KID platform. If you
I can't hear you.
wish to
Gone off. Come again? We can't hear you.
I think I have a
Agnes,
problem with the connection.
me.
Come again?
As I was saying, thank you very much for all of you. I'm saying thank you very much to have come here, and I do appreciate what you people are doing. And we also, as KAD, we are here to support one another. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Try get time to look at our website as well, and we are here to support one another. If you wish to come back to this live chat, let me know so I can host you. And I'm also going to look for Mr. Chris so we can have. We want to hear from both sides, and eventually we hope we are going to have a good welfare. We don't want drama, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
Bona Habib,
All right. So
I think he should
now,
have a meeting with the people he has kicked out, because we cannot express ourselves if we are not in the group. Let us have a chat with him. The people who are outside with him,
okay.
then we should ask him questions to say the way forward. Because if you want to run an organization and you kick out the people who have the idea or the people who are giving you good ideas, you just want your own, then how do you even communicate with the 60,000 Kenyans if the 29 you cannot handle? So he has kicked out a number like 15 people who are outside. Let him talk to them and tell them why he kicked them out, who gave him the permission to kick people who are the founders to start all these things? Because we are all equal. These names, the governor, chairman, we just created these names to steer ahead the thing. But it became an issue like if someone is a governor or so, he looks down upon other people. These are names to steer ahead and create a clout for the welfare. But I'm afraid to say the chairman, the name chairman has gotten into his head until he cannot even listen to people like us who are advisors and who are open-minded, who have no other ill motives apart from helping Kenyans. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, all of you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to share what you have so we can share with other Kenyans. Asanteni sana and have a good night.
You too.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Which are the to join in Dubai?